Well, my real name is Aaron, and I am the founder of Neo Masterpiece Films. I have been in the film industry for, I think, close to 15 years now at this point. And I've done everything from director of photography to director to producer to gaffer to actor. I've worn almost all the hats in the industry, you could say. And I got into crypto around, I think it was August or September of last year, and fell in love with it. And I really saw what NFTs could do. The profile pictures, yeah, that's cool, but there's so much more to NFTs than that. And I realized that, and I also saw DAOs, and
Mm-hmm.
these two things kind of made sense for my idea. So Neo Masterpiece Films is my attempt at merging crypto and filmmaking to make it more like a community that creates films as opposed to Hollywood creating films. I wanted to put the power of filmmaking into the hands of the fans, the people who actually pay to watch those movies,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to I don't want to VCs
Yeah.
who treat funding a film like buying a toaster. Like, does it have Chris Pratt in it? Oh, I don't know if I want to give you my money. Is it final or is it Fast and the Furious 9? I don't know about that. So that is something that I always hated about what I did is
Mm-hmm.
um, the creativity is kind of going away from Hollywood.
Yeah.
Unless it's people like us who are independent filmmakers who just go ahead and do it and throw it out there and see what happens. Um, all you really see is Marvel movies, DC
Mm-hmm.
movies, reboots, and I want to change that. I want to create something that is, meaningful. That is the first in the space. I want to beat Paramount and all of them to the space so that by the time they get here, it's too late.
I think that's awesome. That is really cool. So initially, it all started with your research in NFTs and then into DAOs and kind of bringing those into the film industry. You said, how are you planning on integrating everything together? Because I have like an idea in my head on how that would work, but kind of what was your initial idea and how was that developed?
Okay, so great question. So the NFTs will act as fractionalized ownership of the company. Holding the NFT gives you lots of different benefits. It's called a founder NFT, and there's different tiers. There's a, a fourth tier that we're adding. I haven't set the price point yet, but the other three tiers are 2.5K, 5K, and 10K. And by holding those NFTs, you get voting rights in the DAO weighted on which tier that you hold. You get revenue airdropped to you from all of our productions, as well as any trading royalties from the trading of the NFTs. You also get cool memorabilia, just like fan nerd stuff. Like if um, if we do have Chris Pratt as our lead actor, you could get an airdropped autograph of Chris Pratt as an NFT,
Mm-hmm.
or concept art from the film, or a musical score from the film, or things like that.
Gotcha. That's really cool.
And the founder NFTs will act as, like I said, fractionalized ownership of the company, and will help us to establish cinema cameras, getting letters, uh, paying for any uh, contracts that we have to sign for, hiring a DP or a line producer, things like that. And then there is a second series that will be released shortly after the founder NFTs called Fan NFT. Those are much more like a traditional 10K uh, NFT set. There'll be a much
Okay.
lower price point, and they will be used. One second, I think can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, I think it's switched. I was on earbuds and it's switching me off the earbuds. So give me just a second.
You're good. Yeah, and as we go through, if you guys do have any questions on any of this, because I know it is very new to the space, merging these two things are very new. So any questions at all, just throw them in that AMA questions channel, and we'll get to those towards the end.
Just all right. They can hear you, so be quiet. All right, go ahead.
Hello.
Sorry, where was I?
You were talking about the NFTs being a little bit cheaper. The fan
Gotcha. Okay,
NFTs.
so the fan NFTs, they're much more like a 10K set. There'll be a profile picture. The concept of Neo Masterpiece Films on the NFT side is the style is going to be Neo Tokyo.
Okay.
The the founder NFTs are kind of a Neo Tokyo style. What you would envision different aspects of a film looking like a film set,
Mm-hmm.
a movie theater, things like that. And the fan NFTs will be profile pictures, and they'll
Okay.
be anime, Neo Tokyo, and what we'll do is we'll figure out what the budget is for the film that we need, and then we'll set the mint amount and the price based off of that budget.
Okay.
And then that will work to build the budget as well as allow the founder NFTs to collect revenue from the trading of the fan NFTs, because as I said, they're more of a
Mm-hmm.
traditional NFT set. They
Yes.
just have some cool utilities like instant whitelist opportunities for any of our collaborations, whitelist into s- subsequent mints that we do, uh, airdrops of memorabilia. They'll get a lot more of that than the founders will.
Mm-hmm.
The founder NFTs are designed more to be kind of a owner of the company and
Like
to
investment.
produce an investment with passive income plus cool DAO opportunities for having a say in how the production company runs.
Gotcha. Okay. So the founder NFTs are really going to be that ownership part of the company, while these other NFTs are bringing you the fun things from each individual film, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Gotcha. And do you know what the funds for the fan NFTs will be used for?
They will be used directly for the budget for the film.
Okay. And that's where you get the
So the founder
10,000.
NFTs will be used exactly. So the founder NFTs will be used to buy cinema cameras, lighting packages,
Mhm.
jibs, cranes, all of those types of things to get the establishment of the production company. And then we'll say, okay, we're going to do a sci-fi. The sci-fi
Mhm.
is going to be a $5 million budget. So we need to mint this many NFTs at this price point to build that budget.
And then you'll price those fan NFTs and get them sold. So
Correct.
with the founder NFTs, as far as ownership in the company, will there be some kind of because I assume that the money that you make from the films themselves will be distributed to the founders, or will they be reinvested into the business? Kind of how is that working?
Both.
Okay.
So the way that I did the math is it will be total of 20% of all the revenue will go towards the founder NFTs, and then will be broken up based on which tier that you hold. And
Okay.
the reason I did it that way is after doing the math, I wanted to make sure that no matter what founder NFT you hold on a mediocre release of a film, not a flop, but not a huge booming
Hmm.
success, you are at least going to double, if not triple, your initial investment on the first film. And then,
Okay.
everything after that is just
Money coming in.
pure profit from
Yes.
everything else
So, do you know what the rest of the
of
funds
the
would?
revenue of those films and put that towards the budget of. Yes. So a large majority of the funds will go towards the budget of the next film that we create.
Okay.
And then it would be, so the breakdown will be about 60% of revenue goes towards the next film, 20% goes to the founders, NFTs, and then the other 20% goes towards just cost of business,
Mm-hmm.
paying employees, handling contracts, all of the
Operations.
not fun stuff about business.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. So all the behind the scenes work that's getting done outside of the actual filming and editing and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Awesome. Sounds like you have a pretty solid layout for everything so far.
Thank you. I really this idea as once I had it kind of consumed me. So I've been uh, really digging into it and trying my best to make sure that you know I bet everybody here has been in the DeFi space and heard passive income, and we all know that what happened to that. And I thought, with what I do, I can create an actual passive income. It's created from, real world revenue. And I think it's a hole that is there in this community that needs to be filled. And I really think I can do that. I really do.
Mm-hmm. So how big is the backing behind your project currently? Like, is it just you working on this, or how many team members do you have? Let's talk about the team real quick.
Okay, so the main team is just the three of us, and the other team member is actually in the audience, Lilton. He is the brains behind the a lot of the inner workings of the film studio. I'm a creative guy that I'm good with a camera and good at director, but Lilton is the businessman of the group. And then Topher is the other founder of this project. He is more on the marketing side. And then as far as the actual film production team, a lot of that is built per film.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we have like main roles that, line producer, director, things like that. But a lot of it is built per project. I do have set members that are essentially, I guess, assigned to the company, but pretty much everybody in the film industry has their own production companies.
Just gets
So these
outsourced.
production companies that are attached to this production company, to any projects that we do, we all work together to make it happen.
Gotcha.
Um, and there's some notable names, uh, not like like I said, huge names, but did you ever watch Future Man on Hulu?
No, I have not.
Let's see if you're. Let's try and date you a little bit. Did you ever watch Family Matters?
Nope.
Okay, so did you ever watch Jurassic World?
Yes.
Okay, so one of our producers is Monica Butler. She was one of the
Okay.
main producers on Jurassic World.
Okay. I've heard the name before. That name sounds very familiar.
Yeah, a lot of the names. If I told you the names, you'd be like, if you weren't in the industry, you wouldn't know who they are.
Yeah.
And
No,
that's a
it's
lot
totally
about,
understandable.
yeah, unless it's Chris Pratt, Tom Cruise,
The main actors.
Hanks. Like, I have no idea who you're talking about. Or
Hmm.
like the auteurs such as James Gunn, um, some of the big name directors. But yeah, most people in Hollywood, you would know the name if I told you
Yeah,
that.
of course. Of course. So you guys have a team of three, correct? Three of you
Correct.
currently. Okay. And then everything else will be outsourced kind of as you get started and everything like that.
Correct.
So,
And we have big names that want to come on, but
mhm,
they always say money talks. First, we have to essentially pay them to do what's called signing a letter of interest. Whenever you hear on like news sources that someone is in talks to be in a film, that essentially means that that production company paid them to sign a letter of interest to be a part of that film.
Gotcha.
And legally they won't say that they are a part of a project till they've been paid to sign that letter of interest.
Gotcha. Okay, and that would be more for the actors, correct, and directors?
Actors, directors, directors of photography, the big high-level parts of the production.
Yeah. So where are you at currently in the project? Have you guys launched? Are you using your own token? What is backing your whole project?
Right now, it's just the funds that we've accumulated towards this project. A large majority of it went towards building the film side of the project, and now we are building the crypto side of the project, getting marketing together, starting to spread the word about what it is that we're doing, and just kind of helping everybody understand what this project is all about. We have a feature film that we just finished 2 months ago that once that is done, we will be using the revenue from that to further help the development of this project.
So do you guys plan, just thinking like more in the future, once you have your first movie released, and do you plan on going to a movie theater and signing some kind of deal there with like I'm not exactly sure how the film industry works. So would it be something like that, or would it be online, connect your wallet, pay for it, that kind of thing?
No, it'll be the classic revenue sources of films. There's a lot of different ways to get revenue in a film, and if Lilton wants to pop in, Lilton would be the one to pick the brain on that side. He's the man that handles that side of the business. But theatrical release is always the main goal, because theatrical release is where you're going to get a large amount of return on investment. But we also have established avenues so that if we don't do a theatrical release, we can sell it to Netflix, we can sell it to Hulu, we can sell it to Amazon, and at least create revenue from the productions. It may not be what it would be from a theatrical release, but you're going to make money back.
Gotcha. Okay, that's very interesting. And can you brush over again what the founders NFTs, the founder NFTs value, like prices are, and then the numbers in the number of NFTs for each tier?
So we are putting together a lower tier. We haven't set the price point just yet, but it's either going to be $500 or $1,000. And then the next tier is 2.5K, so 2,500. There will be 400 of those. The next one is a 5K tier. There'll be 100 of those. And then the top tier is the 10K NFT, and there will be 50 of those.
Okay. So in the end, what would be the total?
So the goal for the minting out the founder NFTs would be 2.5 million.
Okay. Gotcha. And then once everything like that's done, you guys will have the funds secured and all the equipment for your first film.
Correct. And that would also into a portion of it would go towards the marketing of the fan NFTs and continuing to grow the crypto side of the project as we begin the production of the film. And the plan is once the first film is produced, we will do a minimum of 2 projects a year. And if this goes the way that I envision it, we will expand it, and it'll be regularly releasing projects to make sure that one, we're always creating, which is the whole point of this in the first place, and 2, to make sure that our investors are regularly getting revenue from their investment.
I see. Yeah, you guys have a lot to go through. And I know you led off the conversation stating that your dream was to bring essentially the control of the film away from Hollywood and take it back into, what the people are asking for, correct?
Correct.
So how would that look? How would the interactions between the DAO and the individual investors kind of play into each other?
The way that would work is, so say we have a film.
Mm-hmm.
We have 5 ideas that our writers have all written. We would do what's called a sizzler reel, which is kind of like a trailer made specifically for expressing the idea of the
Mm-hmm.
film. And we would present all 5 sizzler reels to members of the DAO, and then you would vote on which film you want us to produce.
Mm-hmm.
Or say we're in talks with 4 actors for the lead role for a film we're doing. We would present those 4 actors to the DAO and let them decide who they want to be the lead actor. Those type of things, music score, set direction, um, just all of the aspects that we can allow the community to be a part of, we
Mm-hmm.
will make them a part of.
Gotcha. So would it be independent writers, coming to you and saying, "Hey, I have this idea for a film." Would it be them coming to you in like the business side of things, or would they be coming, putting a post in? Would you integrate some kind of, system for them to post, their thoughts and their script and ask the DAO?
So there would be multiple avenues. There would
Mm-hmm.
be writers who already have a script that present to us that want us to produce it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we have our own writers as well, and then like if someone says, "Hey, man, I have a film I wrote, when I was 18 years old, and then life took over and I became an accountant, but I always wanted this film to be made," like present it to us. If it's
Mm-hmm.
a viable film, like we'll make a sizzler for it and present it to the DAO, and we'll let you decide.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something we should do. But yeah, so multiple different avenues. The first one we've already written and it's already in pre-production. But that's just the reason I did that was to minimize the amount of time that investors are waiting around for the first film to be produced, so that they're not waiting forever for to get ROI on their investment.
Gotcha. Okay. And do you know what network you guys are going with? Um, are you going to have your own token at all, or is it all done through NFTs?
So we're going to do Ethereum. It's all
Okay.
going to be done through NFTs and stablecoin
Mm-hmm.
payouts. I considered a token at the very beginning, but filmmaking is not a fast process. You're probably looking at 6 to 9 months
Mm-hmm.
total uh, from production to release. Sometimes longer, depending on how marketing goes, things like that. So a token, uh, in my view, would be pumped and dumped before the
Mm-hmm.
first even released, and then it would just create unnecessary FUD. People would "Where's the film? What's going on? How come we don't know anything?"
Mm-hmm.
And it would just counteract what we're trying to do. And I think NFTs work better because it's more of a holdable asset than a token.
Yes, 100%. It's more long term for sure, for most people at least.
Right. Mindset wise, that's the way I looked
Yeah,
at it.
that's very fair. And I kind of like the whole idea behind going ETH as well, because it's going to be more of a stable solution versus other, there's pros and cons, right? You're going to have to deal with the gas fee, but at the same time, you're looking at a more stable backing than almost anything else out there right now.
Yes. It was that, and pretty much the stability and the guaranteed likelihood that the chain will be there in 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, whereas the other ones are pretty new. They're only probably a year old, maybe 2 years old. So I'm not saying they won't, but the likelihood is less than ETH still being around in 10 years.
Yes. So, what is, I guess, the final thing that I have, and then we can go to some questions from the audience. What is your timeline for everything currently?
The timeline currently is to start production in January.
Okay.
And to have the film done by probably late February, and then release would be closer toward the end of next year.
Mm-hmm.
And right now we're, like I said, and that is flexible. It's really going to depend on, you know, how much momentum we can get with this project, because it's it's really based on everyone coming together and getting together with this idea. But yes, the plan is January, and then first film release by the end of next year, and then you know to start the pre-production of the next film while we are editing the first film.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's kind of the timeline for that. What is the timeline for the NFTs? Because it just that, correct me if I'm wrong, but that needs to be completed before anything else, correct?
Yes, the founder NFT mint has to be completed before anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a specific date. Again, it's really more based on momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the current market, I'm not
Yes.
pushing everybody like get in, hurry guys, you got to mint, you got to
Yeah.
mint. I understand that how the market is right now, but I also
Mm-hmm.
understand that what we're doing is not based on the market. If you
Mm-hmm.
ever look in history, films are actually recession resistant. Because
Yes.
if a film is good, you'll go watch it, even if
Yeah.
and in fact, you might be more likely to go watch it because everything around you is depressing and you want to escape from it.
That's very fair. So, is the NFT collection already available for purchase?
No, the
Okay.
NFT collection is ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to jump and release the mint until, like I said, I feel like we have gotten to a point that the momentum has really started, and
Gotcha.
people are ready and understand what I'm doing and want to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've
Gotcha.
kind of given myself about 6 months.
To get everything kind of prepped.
Correct. So
Got
that
it.
as soon as everything, yeah, we're ready to go. We're ready to start production.
That's not a bad idea whatsoever. That also launching in, I know we kind of brought this up, or I saw in the ticket that you'd brought this up about kind of the downside of launching in the bear market. But I also think there's a huge upside, right? If people are paying in ETH, that value is only going to go up from from a bear to a bull. It'd be a lot more unfortunate launching in the end of a bull market, when everything starts to come back down if you haven't changed it into stable coins yet.
Yeah, exactly. And also, everyone that is here now is not a fair weather fan of crypto. They are like
Mm-hmm.
actual legit investors.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel if you Board Ape Yacht Club, they launched in a bear market, correct? I'm right about that.
I believe they launched in between
They were in a
like
down.
I think they launched kind of towards the end of the bear. I believe. My timeline might be off
So
though. I wasn't following them until semi recently.
gotcha. Well, I only legitimate, not legitimate, like real working projects are going to launch in this market.
Mm-hmm.
There's no. So what I see it as an opportunity for us to be first to market, because nobody's really incentivized to copy us,
Mm-hmm.
because they're not even in this market right now.
Yes.
So it really sets us up in a good space so that as soon as the market turns, we're ready to go. We've
Mm-hmm.
already gotten the real investors in with us, and we're ready to capitalize on the turn of market, as opposed to trying to build against the clock in a bull market.
Yes. Trying to figure everything out right before it kind of turns down. I like kind of the mentality you have coming into this. Um, if we kind of touched up on everything, unless there is something else you wanted to touch up on, I'd like to lead it into some questions from the audience.
the one thing I didn't touch on that I just want to drop real
Mhm.
quick is I understand that it is a long-term project,
Mhm.
and the revenue from the films, it will take a little while to start. But what I've built into it to ensure that investors start to get ROI on their investment is the trading, the royalties. So what we'll do is every month we will airdrop royalties from the trading of NFTs to holders of our founders to ensure that people are starting to get ROI or in profit by the time the film actually releases because of the revenue from the trading profits.
Mhm. Yeah, I do like that idea as well. And it sounds like with the percentages that you've kind of worked out, you're going to be in a big, this is it has potential to do extremely well. I mean, it is dependent obviously on, when everything kind of gets off its, off its feet or on its feet, I should say. Um, and all that kind of stuff, but investors for the founder NFTs are getting a lot for what they're paying for.
And I made it that way
Mhm.
because, you know, I just want to make cool movies that people like to like all of the finances and all of that stuff. Like that's superfluous to it. I just want
Mhm.
to make cool movies,
Mhm.
and I just want people to see that and to come along on that journey. Um, and I think this is the best vehicle to do that. I really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I love the outlook on that. You just want to do what you love doing. That's awesome.
Exactly.
That is awesome. All right. Let's see. So, starting off on some audience questions, we got one. Would you partner with normal film related companies? And I think you kind of went over that you would, correct, for production and things like that. Um,
And I already have
mhm.
several of the, the the other companies, as I said, are partnered with us own their own production companies.
Okay, sweet. So you are partnering with the conventional world, I should say.
Yes.
And then will there be? We kind of gone over this again. Any specific amount of NFTs? We did touch up on that. Um,
Yeah. The only one I haven't decided yet is because I just kind of released it was the lower tier.
mhm.
I did want to make something that was available for people, who don't have a ton to invest but want to be a part of it. So I'm
Yes.
still building out that piece. I haven't fully um, moved all the pieces there, but there will be a lower tier for that is for someone who doesn't have a lot of liquidity.
And will the ownership? Because I know you talked about the NFTs having different, like with the different tiers, is the percent ownership going to be equivalent to that percentage invested?
Yes.
Okay. And then Spinova asked, just like Netflix, can one subscribe on your platform without holding the tokens? I don't believe you are going to have your own platform, correct?
No, we won't have our own platform. Yeah, it'll be given. The licensing rights will be given out to Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Tubi, all of those. It really, we will set up however we can to ensure that we get the best return on investment. So, say we shop it out, we decide we're not going to go theatrical route, and we shop it out. We're going to go with whoever offers us the best contract for release.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that may mean that Netflix might buy it outright for triple what we paid for it. Every time you see
Yes.
Netflix original on Netflix, that means they bought it. That
Uh
means they
huh.
paid for it and just bought all the rights. But you can also license it, where they'll stream it on their platform, and then we just collect residuals from
Mm-hmm.
it. So there's a lot of different avenues to do it. But yeah, we're not going to do our own platform. Um, at least not now. If this thing grows the way that I foresee it, there's a lot of other ideas I have down the road. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yes. So if let's say Netflix purchased a film for, like let's say you put in X amount and you got paid 3 times that amount to sell it. Like kind of that example you just brought up. because I don't know how much movies actually cost to make. So let's say that was kind of the premise behind this. Would that money be paid to those investors first, or where would that money go? 20% would go to the investors of that total, regardless of how much the total was?
Correct.
Okay. Gotcha. And then 60 into that next film and all that kind of stuff.
Correct.
So would let's say 60% went into that next film, is there a possibility that there are no fan NFTs for the next film, depending on how much went into it?
I would say that I would let the community choose that.
Mm-hmm.
I would, because what we could do, again, I want this to be a community
Mm-hmm.
project. I could say, well, hey, like, we'd rather just get, more revenue from what we like. The film turned out amazing. Like, we made a lot of money.
Yeah.
You could say, hey, like, I'd rather get more revenue and let's just release another collection. Or, hey, let's just flip I'm happy with what we made. Let's just flip it all into the next movie and not release another collection. And I would do it that way as opposed to, I guess, choosing myself.
Gotcha. Okay, I think that's perfect. It's perfect. Letting the community have some more power in this decision, I think, is what it is the opportunity that crypto kind of brings to the space. So I love that about your project. And then so that kind of goes over. Someone asked, would NFT holders be able to influence decision making? The founders NFTs would, in the ways you kind of have stated. And then the fan NFTs are not influencing decisions, but rather getting actual, items and opportunities for whitelist and that kind of thing. Correct?
Correct. You just get a cool utilities for having the NFTs. We might do like a giveaway, like we'll fly you out to the premiere of the film, or you want to be an extra in the film, or things like that. We'll hold giveaways to people.
That's awesome.
Who hold NFTs.
Have a fan meeting or a like kind of like a meet and greet.
Yeah, I've envisioned all of that stuff. Like having, because even if we can't do an in-person meet and greet because we have 20,000 people,
yeah,
we could do a virtual one where everybody gets to hop on Discord and just have like a fireside chat with our lead actor or the director or anything like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And an opportunity that you wouldn't get anywhere else. Another reason I love crypto and really kind of chose this avenue, because I have several friends who they wanted to be filmmakers growing up, but it seems just like being an actor. It can be thought of as a pipe dream, something that you'll never achieve, and then you settle for running an engineering firm or something when that's not really what you want to do. Like, I want this something where you can be a part of the film industry and be a part of making films like you always dreamed of, and not have to worry about it being a pipe dream anymore.
I like I said, I really do love that about what you're trying to establish here. It's really focused on the love for your love for film, and it's definitely present in the one, just the whole, not tokenomics, but the whole idea behind how this ecosystem is going to run, and two, just in how you speak about it. So that is those are some of the best things to kind of look into, is the passion behind the people developing the project.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so what are your current marketing strategies?
Right now, just I'm really just in the organic phase of marketing right now. I am hoping to start working with a marketing firm here shortly that will handle a lot of the Twitter, Instagram, social media aspect. And then we'll be doing some influencer marketing as well.
Gotcha. Okay, that's perfect.
And
I'm sure you have
tons of AMAs. If you guys have alpha group that you want me to chat at, like, just send it my way. Like, I love talking about that, and I feel like all of these other things are cool, but an AMA really for me,
Hmm.
when I'm investing, like an AMA really expresses if a project is worth investing in or not.
Yes. And I know, like, I love the energy that you guys come with. So I know that we're gonna ask for you to come back at some point, kind of as we go through and everything gets developed and you guys are further along and the markets are a little bit better. So with all that, I know for sure that I'd love to have some kind of partnership where we bring you on again for the next AMA.
Yeah, I'd love to.
So will there be? So we've kind of answered. There will be prominent actors added to the NFT, um, or added to the NFT collection. Will you be having some prominent actors added to your NFT collection? I
Um, the, I would what we thought about doing more is having like in the NFT collection having Easter egg kind of stuff in the art, like uh the Terminator jacket or the hoverboard from Back to the Future too, because we can't really do, like I said, we can't do a Chris Pratt NFT without Chris Pratt saying, "Okay, you can use my likeness for an NFT." Whereas, like I said, the airdrops and stuff that would be something that we have written into the contract
hmm.
that signing on to this, you are agreeing that you will allow us to create a autographed NFT to give to our investors. Whereas trying to make an NFT with a actor's likeness, like me personally, if I was them, I would just make my own NFT collection and do it instead of allowing somebody else. So really, as part of the art of NFTs, it's more like doing cool Easter egg kind of aspects of the art. Like I said, with if you're a film fan, you'll recognize what that trait is because you love film.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. I really like the idea of all the different Easter eggs that you guys are gonna have. I think that everything I've seen so far, the marketing behind everything is very well thought out. So you guys have done a very very good job of that. And I think we are done with all the audience questions. Is there anything that we have in the very end left out? Because I've kind of got all my questions answered. Your guys' project is very, very straightforward, which is very good, helpful. And I think part of that is, meshing the business world and the film industry with crypto. It's not as convoluted as a lot of other projects that we have had on. So, um, is there anything that you wanted to kind of touch up on your project, on what, who you guys are, what you do, and that kind of thing? Or,
I mean, like I said, Lilton's been in the industry for about 15 years. I've been in the industry for about 15 years. We've worn all the hats there are to wear in filmmaking because, especially if you start as an independent filmmaker, uh, you are, you aren't just a DP, you aren't just a director, you're doing a lot of different things. And I guess one thing I didn't touch on, and something that other people have, is they say, well, what if the collection doesn't mint out or you don't reach your goal? Well, one of the beauties about being an independent filmmaker is a lot of times we never reach our goal. A lot of times we'll do a Kickstarter and yeah, man, we're gonna make this film with $1 million. Oh man, we raised $10,000. What are we gonna do? We're gonna we're gonna we're gonna create the film. We just like say instead of having this actor, we're gonna probably go with a lesser known actor because they're not gonna
Mhm.
cost as much. Or we had an epic car chase with explosions and gun battles and whatnot. Well, we don't have the budget for that anymore, so we'll cut that piece out. We'll do creative rewrites and budgeting to make sure that the film is made with the budget that we are able to get.
Yeah, I love
Again,
that.
because like I said, the financial stuff is cool. Love to make money doing what I do, but really I just want to be able to do what I want to do and not have to
Yeah.
worry about working other film production jobs and stuff. Just this is my I don't want to sound too high in my this is my legacy. This is how I saw it.
Uh-huh.
This is what I want you in 10 years. If you were to Google my name, Neo Masterpiece Films is what pops up. Like that. This is what I envision this.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And I love the fact that you are very adaptable, especially because your experience, in film. And so I assume that you have, had your own like experience with those, missing your budget marks and kind of those goals for budget. But I think that it's really important to be adaptable, because that is always a concern on what if this doesn't happen, and it's one of those things you don't really want to think about. But if you don't have that backing, it's a very very probable concern.
Yeah, it's totally realistic, and it's something you deal with in the film industry all the time. And starting out, it was a lot more. As you get more prominent, as you create connections, it's not as much of an issue, but it's always there.
Hmm.
Um, a budget is a target. It's not. It's not the. If you miss the target, you can. Some budgets go over by double. Some budgets are under.
Hmm.
It's a target. It's always something that is flexible, especially in something creative like filmmaking. We're not building a car where, oh well, we can't use those brakes. So, it's something that we can creatively work around to build the budgets to. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, that's
other than that,
awesome.
I just really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk about this and to present this to your community and letting them hear about what I'm doing.
I'm really glad that we had you on. I wasn't sure what to think about or what to think kind of coming into this, because I mean, the only way I found out about you guys was through that ticket and through like going through those messages and stuff in your white paper. But I'm really glad we had you guys on, because you guys have something, with a lot of major potential. And I think if anyone doesn't see that, they're, either not looking in deep enough or don't have any experience in, in the real world. But I think you guys have a lot of potential. So I'm really glad that we had you on, and I hope to have you guys on again soon.
Great, yeah. And then just invite everybody here just to hop on over in the Discord. Let us know that you came from Cardinal House, and we will set you up with whitelist.
Awesome. And I think, Zach, you can post the link in the description or in the questions channel. But yeah, that's awesome. There we go. And then great. And I assume any news will be kind of posted on there as, you guys get more support and all that kind of thing. But go join that Discord channel and our Discord server, and we'll try and help grow that community as well.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, have a good one. It was really great meeting you and having you on.
Yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed this.
Awesome. Have a good one.